What's going on, y'all? We are back. I've been slacking a little bit, y'all. Life has been turbulent. It's been crazy, lots of ups and downs, but that's okay because we are back up, or at least we bouncing back up. You know what I mean? And today, I'm kind of late on this, but I want to watch the Blood of Dawnwalker gameplay overview. This is about 21 minutes, and this is a game that when I saw that first trailer, I'm like, that's cool. I honestly I like seeing successful, game developers who did one thing just kind of pivot to something maybe still a little familiar. I believe some people who made, who are part of the Witcher series are making this game. I don't know if they're necessarily part of the same studio still. I think they actually aren't, but I don't actually know for sure. But they're making a new game called Blood of the Dawnwalker. I could be horribly wrong, but I'm pretty certain that this is that. And yeah, the first trailer was really cool, so I'm curious to see the gameplay. I believe you're like a vampire, a guy who kind of gets somewhat, I guess we'll say, infected with the powers of vampires, but not like entirely. Because I think you're on the verge of death, or your sibling or somebody was on the verge of death, and these vampires kind of just kind of fucked up the party, saving you in the process, kind of. But I don't know, there's definitely some nuance to it that it seems like you're basically going to try to take them down, these vampires, but you're probably going to take down a lot of other people too, because it seemed like both were pretty bad, like the people trying to kill them and the vampires. Either way, this is more gameplay than I would say story trailer, but either way, I've talked for too long. Let's get into it. Oh, there we go. Rebel Wolves, yeah. So I think it was CD Projekt Red made the other one. Actual gameplay footage from work in progress beta version. The Blood Dawnwalker and developers subject to change. All right, gameplay was captured on PC. Man. That's a cool little title card.
And I'm the design director at Rebel Wolves. I would like to welcome you to the Blood of Dawnwalker summer gameplay video. Our game is a story-driven, open-world dark fantasy RPG.
I like dark fantasy.
Europe. The game
Why do
is
I got
currently in
Chinese subtitles on? What the hell?
What I'm going to show you is just a part of one of the mid-game quests. It's a really cool story involving legendary swords and a haunted almshouse. But today, we'll focus on showcasing our gameplay systems.
Alright.
We're starting on the outskirts of Svatro, the game's largest
I just feel
city
like I
and
can't
capital
see.
of Vale Sangora. From here, we could head anywhere the eye can see.
It was just the
Explore
lighting
ancient
of
ruins
the
or
current scene.
sabotage
Looks a little
vampire
dark.
Transports. But it's not just about where or when you go. It's also about how you approach the main quest and shape the story, making each playthrough uniquely your own. For now, we're following the road. Cohen is on his way to the city's cathedral, chasing leads about a powerful weapon said to be hidden
In the top right, that's
crypts.
interesting. Rescue your family, 22 days
But
left.
first,
So the game
we'll
tells
have to
you,
deal
like, you got
with
a
some
time limit.
bandits who camped out by the main road. Traveling through Vale Sangora is never boring. The world is dense with quests, random encounters, and locations steep in lore. This will be a great opportunity to show you our combat system.
Dang, that's some pretty dynamic
Our goal is to
fighting.
make the player feel like a real swordmaster who closely observes his enemies. We'll begin this fight by using
Damn, not
Dust
Pocket
to
Sand.
stun one of the enemies. Now, when you attack, you choose one of 4 directions: up, down, left, or right.
Oh, this
in order
like,
to hit the opponent where he's unable to parry. And
that one
similarly,
medieval
when defending,
game.
you have to take note of the enemy's intent.
What's it called?
And the direction of the attack.
Got it in my
On the
library.
left side of the screen, just above Cohen's health, you have activation
Kingdom Come
charges
Deliverance.
that will be filled in with each successful attack, block, and parry. Once they are full, you can use one of the active abilities, which allow you to take a more tactical approach to fighting. We started the fight by throwing some acrid dust, and now let's cast Burning Blood. It's a hex which boils the enemy's
Damn.
blood and burns their skin, dealing physical damage over time.
That's crazy. I would just quit.
Alright,
If you start
time
burning
to
my
finish this
blood,
Let's
I put my
use
sword
the
out. Hey,
final
I'm sorry,
activation
dog.
charge to cast the archery
Please just make it
attack,
stop.
Which,
I'd be probably screaming it, but
which actually
damn.
decapitated the last opponent.
Damn, look at his
Our hero
leg.
quickly dispatched the bandits, so let's loot a few items they've left behind and open the inventory. First of all, let's replenish our health by eating something. And then take a closer look at this cool-looking weapon we just picked up.
Pretty standard, like
It has better stats than our current weapons, so let's equip
I
it
forget the
right now.
like loadout.
We've also leveled up, so let's use this opportunity
You know,
to
nothing
spend
too crazy.
the
What, like 2
newly acquired
rings
skill
or
point in one
accessories,
of Cohen's skill trees.
boots, that
The
sort of
skills
stuff.
in the Blood of Dawnwalker are divided into 3 trees. One for human, one for vampire, and one shared between the 2.
Nice.
We also have an active abilities panel. We can use it to unlock additional abilities to use during combat.
This reminds me of the God
But
of
during the
War
day, the health bar is not regenerating.
2018 one a
To
little
find
bit. How they had like the
consumables
weapons,
one we've
just like the
eaten.
general
The hexes we've
style
just
of it.
used also consume some of Cohen's
Like,
health. Be aware of that.
The
way our
structure,
magic
how
system
it's laid
works,
out a little
there's
bit,
always a
but
price to
also just
pay
the actual
for
way, like the
manipulating
ability
reality.
icons
But
kind
we
of
can make it sting a bit less.
look a little bit.
Let's level up the frugal witchcraft skill, so next time we'll cast a hex, it'll consume fewer of Cohen's health points. Now that we've wrapped up the encounter with the bandits, we can be on our way to get inside the city. Right
I
now,
do like
Cohen hasn't
vampire
done enough to
games,
ruffle the
y'all,
vampire
that-
lord's feathers, so the
Or not
gods will
games
just wave us
necessarily, but just
through.
anything like
But
I hate
the
being
more
limited by
damage
the
you cause,
nighttime,
the more
basically.
suspicious and aggressive they'll become.
I don't know why,
So
but just
when you
as
play
a
the game
character, like
yourself,
if
you'll
I
have
could
to
play
decide
like a
whether you want to
vampire,
challenge
like
the
in
vampires
Baldur's Gate,
openly,
I want to be
or
able to
lay
just,
low
you
until
know,
you're ready to
be
strike
not
and
limited to
surprise them.
just like nighttime stuff, right? Even if the whole game takes place during the nighttime, I don't know, I just like mentally I just don't like it. Obviously that's the whole thing with vampires, but make me special, right? I want to be special, like
This
I want to
is
be
the rich
Blade
district of
or
the
whatever.
city, Silberkreis. There's
You could go
also
out there in the
Altenmarkt,
daytime, right, Blade?
Neustadt,
It's been a
and
long
the
time since I've
Wilderness.
seen those movies.
Each of the boroughs has its own feel and character.
Get your stinking ass out of here. I was just passing through, I swear. I got tired.
What is this? Yeah, it's 4K.
Sat down and started begging.
Looming high over the city is Brancis's castle.
I don't know why as I'm looking at this, I feel like I can't like
when he slaughtered the human ruler
I can
of the
see
valley,
just fine,
Skander, as shown in
but
the
I don't feel like
trailer
I'm
we
taking
shared
in
with
like
you
the
earlier in January this year.
details.
In order to complete the main quest and save your family, you'll have to storm the castle alone.
That's a
or
beautiful
with help
mountain in
of
the
friendly
background.
NPCs. We could do it right now.
I think maybe just the lighting is like everything just feels kind
It
of
would be super challenging.
like we're always in like a shaded area, it feels like. Not literally, but
What left me? I just want to
he has a very dark I don't know the general word,
Let's
but
check the map. The cathedral is really close.
just his
There's
whole
plenty
his
of other
outfit,
places
his
to see
hair,
and things to do here.
and then he's
A
in the
couple of inns,
shade.
a medic, a blacksmith, an armorer, and other merchants. You can see that not only the vampires came out of the shadows. This creature on the right is called an Uriash. Look around, especially at night, and you'll learn humans have lots to fear, not just the vampires.
Okay, so it's not just like people in the world and then vampires came along, this other fantasy.
And here we can
Stuff.
see guards pounding on some poor guy's doors.
What is it about? Singing songs that mocked him and the faith. Who told you this nonsense? Was it Livia? Off the door.
It's just one of many different community scenes we're implementing in the game. Watch them closely when you play, as they might point you to new quests and hidden treasures, or signal changes
What
in
the-
the game's world.
I'm getting a call from somebody that like never calls me.
I humbly
Like someone I know, but they like never. They called me on Facebook. That's so weird. Sorry, let me. I would just see if they like send me a message. I don't know what that's about. Dang, maybe I might need to call him back actually. We'll finish the video. I might cut that out. I don't know. Maybe you guys want to peek into my life.
is what we have to say. I humbly beg of thee, protect
That church looks cool.
We are at the cathedral gates.
Visually, this is probably the coolest thing I've seen so far. Specifically the stained glass windows. If you watch enough of my videos, you probably have heard me say that I really love stained glass windows. Just the aesthetic of them. One of the most beautiful things I've never seen, like even like stained glass windows that aren't at like clearly of a lower caliber, but like on a building, always look good. Always just make things beautiful to me. They're pretty much, I only ever see them for the most part like on churches or really old buildings, but they're like always beautiful. I went to Mexico and there was like this like giant, I would call it maybe like a cathedral than just a church. But yeah, like the massive stained glass windows, they were like beautiful. You can like just walk inside, like check it out. It was dope. So I love stained glass windows, and I feel like that's something that like a very underutilized thing in games, like for how beautiful they are.
Ego te baptizo in nomine Dei. Amen.
I'm surprised he ain't combust. I mean, I guess he's not a different vampire. Do they burn up in churches or just general religious things can just hurt them, or like, oh shit. Our character looks edgy as hell.
Don't I know you from somewhere, young man? Laslia, maybe.
It's interesting. This character looks very good, but there's a way that he moves that's not bad, but it's like just stylistic. I don't know. It's hard to.
Perhaps.
Maybe it's like the hair, the way like the beard is
My
moving.
memory isn't what it used
I mean, I
to
guess it's also the crazy cut he
be. Come
got
with
too.
me. I'll take your confession.
Who really thought like this is it? Like,
Thank you.
shave the top
for confession.
and then just have I guess it's like a halo.
Deem your conscience clear.
Maybe that's what they're going for. Like a holy halo.
I'm sure you're a busy man, Father. So while I appreciate the offer, I feel that my soul shouldn't.
I like
be a
conflicted
priority.
characters that like
Press the matter.
are the hero, but they kind of go to
I have
like
many other duties to attend
some like
to.
so like priest or whatever, like Van Helsing with like Hugh Jackman or Daredevil in Daredevil. I don't know. I think it's a really cool way to show the
Good day to you.
just like the nature
Cohen.
of the person that truly has like strong morals and wants to do good, but also kind of has that temptation of, you know, going to the darker side of things maybe, and just like that sort of battle of like being on that line, kind of teetering. I think it's like a really easy and not overused
like this blood
way
baptism.
to frame
Isn't
things
it?
like that.
The core feature of the Blood of Dawnwalker is the dual gameplay loop. Remember, Cohen may be a human during the day, but he turns into a vampire at night and has a different set of skills at his disposal. And this
It'll be
is
interesting. I have
just
to like
one variable
learn,
that affects our
like
quests.
I need to be good at the
Depending on whether you
fighting
tackle a
during the
particular
day,
quest, what choices you've made earlier,
but then like, oh, I got a whole different fighting style at night probably.
Your gameplay and story experience will be very, very different.
Like, would that be a
So
benefit
each
of doing
quest
the
is a
in-between
complex structure
powers?
with multiple possible
Like you
paths
use them
leading to
during the
end
day
goal.
and the night?
We maximize players' freedom and agency, offering you a narrative sandbox to play in. I wonder what secrets may be concealed up there, just beyond Cohen's reach. And how do we get there? It's impossible to do during the day, but come night, it's an entirely different story.
That's
Let
pretty
us
cool.
explain what we mean by taking our current quest as an example. During the day, we got inside the cathedral without any problems, since it's open for all to see and Cohen doesn't yet stand out from the crowd. The scaffolds, though, are outside of his reach. But climbing them won't be a problem for the vampire, who has
The lighting
many
looks
more
similar at night,
exploration abilities
as
at
far as
his
like how much you can
disposal.
see them. Maybe that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Cohen has
that
not
looks
completed
cool,
the
that in
quest
the
yet.
distance.
What's more, there are still a few clues to be found in order to solve this story.
That's
It's
kinda
worth
crazy.
mentioning that narrative sandbox also means that we may completely abandon this quest and follow a different path to defeat Brensis. For today, we're focusing on the gameplay part, so let's see how we could tackle this particular quest during the night.
The only game I think I've ever
Starting right
played
after dusk, as a vampire
that
on the rooftops of Svatro. Right now, we
had like a
have
real
22 days
time limit. I
left
know
to
for a lot of
complete
people,
this
their
goal.
first one was
This
probably
counter
like
is
Majora's
always
Mask.
displayed, and you will be warned each
That
time
was
it's
one that
pushed
kind of like
forward.
I
So
missed.
you have to be aware of
But
the time.
the first one that I
and
played,
it's
that had like a
more
real
of
time limit of like you
resource
only got
you'll
this
be
much
spending than a racing
time
clock.
before the game ends, and it was a not very good one. Was Final Fantasy
As a vampire,
13
you'll see and experience
3.
the world from a different perspective.
And I
You
hated
can
that
travel
game
quickly and easily
because of just
access
how
places
like
beyond
much
the
they
reach of
butchered
regular humans. Let us show you
not
what
even like
we
the
mean.
characters, but
This
like
is Shadow
the first
Step,
game you play with
a
like
unique
6 or so
vampiric ability,
characters,
allowing
and you
Cohen
can
to
play like
jump
all
to
their
almost
skills,
any
abilities,
place
different
within
fighting
his
styles, and all
reach.
that. And then the second
Now,
game,
let's take a good look around using the focus mode.
you're using different characters, one of which you kind of knew
This
from the
ability
first game.
highlights objects of
Ultimately, you aren't
interest
playing with any of the main characters from the
And there's
first game. They're
something
like
right
just
here.
NPCs. And then the third game, you go back to play with one of the characters from the first game, but not with any of the others. And it was just like, one, it was depressing. Two, it was like just kind of
Looks like our
like
health is
annoying
quite
and
low.
difficult.
This is because
And
as a
I don't know, it was
vampire,
just
your
like,
health bar also
I don't
represents
know.
your hunger level,
It wasn't
and you
great.
start each night
So
thirsting for
that's
blood.
my first,
Remember, you
not my
have to
first, that's my
quench this
one,
appetite in order to make full
sort
use
of-
your vampire abilities.
I don't know.
And rein in your monstrous
That's
nature
a little bit of
elements.
apprehension I have
Otherwise, you may end up
of
draining
this.
someone
And I don't think that this game is going to be like
which may lead
that.
to unpredictable consequences.
But I think when you have a time limit
Maybe
in a game
only
like that, I
someone
think it
who's
can
standing
risk,
all alone. Like this
you can
drunk
risk fun in a game that has exploration, and you can increase stress. And sometimes that's the part of it, like a certain level of stress, right? Time limits on things.
Decide how much blood to
Don't worry,
drain.
I'm watching,
You can
but
drain just a bit
yo,
and knock your
might as well
victim
chat with y'all while I
unconscious.
watch too.
Or go
Damn.
all the way and kill them.
Damn!
And if you're adamant you don't want to hurt innocent humans,
Hold the shit
you
out of
can
him.
drink from animals and some other creatures.
That's crazy. But yeah, I think depending on how
We
this
are at the
time,
cathedral, but it seems to be
so the
closed for
system
night,
works,
and the
it
entrance
could
gate
be-
is well guarded.
I don't think it'll
Let's
break the
find
game,
another
but
way in.
I think they could do it extremely well. I think the progression has to feel pretty quick with the powers and things. Only 22 days is not a lot. And this isn't an open world, but in an open world game where you're exploring with a night-day cycle, 22 days goes by very
is not the
quickly.
only vampiric ability you're gonna learn during your playthrough. Cohen can also use plane shift to scale walls and even ceilings smoothly. This will allow us to explore every nook and cranny of the cathedral.
These windows stand out so much. They're beautiful. That's probably I like, but please don't take this the wrong way, developers. But that's probably my favorite part of the game so far, just those stained glass windows. But I'm biased towards them. But I think also they just stand out the most of anything I've seen just visually.
What is she doing? Is that a ritual for the blood gods?
Oh hell!
They're covering up the old paintings. Why? One of the workers must have left it. Seems that the cathedral complex is quite big. The main building, cloisters, inner courtyard. The entrance to the crypt could be anywhere. Won't get anything done just standing around. Still,
This was a scene investigation, a mechanic we used to zoom in on and showcase key clues. This time we had a chance to learn more about the vampire's plans. Looks like they're keen to cover up the old frescoes, so that's something we could take a look at. This way we could learn more about the cathedral's past.
Is the cathedral going to be like a important? Why am I all the way leaned out my shit? God
Looks like
damn!
we aren't alone here.
But it's going to be. I just did the same exact thing, y'all. I leaned all the way back.
Soldiers hooked up
I'm
from
comfortable, y'all. Let me be
which
comfortable.
makes them stronger.
But like, is
One
the
of Princess's
cathedral gonna be like a pivotal
It's
place in this game that we're gonna like
oldest vampire
revisit
in
a lot?
Sangora, and quite a
I hope so,
powerful
because
lady.
it's, you know,
Let's descend
those windows
and
are
check
beautiful.
What's going on?
Don't think I don't see you skulking in the shadows. Come out.
Damn, what she got going on?
You're interfering with my task. Who are you?
It doesn't matter.
Very well. I don't have time for interruptions. Let us dispose of him.
Damn. They look crazy.
Cohen is using
Oh,
his
shit.
claws to attack when in vampire form.
Damn, that was good. That was a clean parry. I ain't gonna lie. He's a bitch.
Their attacks are pretty strong.
I'm built
Of
different.
course, even when fighting with claws, combat is still directional. Don't worry, Cohen can still use his sword. as a
Damn!
vampire.
He parried the cable with a damn! Oh shit! Oh, I gotta stay at night.
Only after defeating all three of the blood guards, Xanthi deems Cohen worthy of a challenge, and she descends to
Damn!
face him.
Ragdolling
Uses her blood
niggas.
control powers to cast a multitude of attacks, like her blood whips that hit Cohen from left and right. Xanthi is protected by a powerful vampire ability. Once her stamina runs out, Cohen will have an opportunity to strike and deal some damage.
Damn.
But be careful, because Xanthi is quick to counterattack, and she will also try to restore her blood. Meanwhile, look at the indicator just below her health and stamina. It's a timer for the boiling blood skill that you've seen in the CGI trailer.
Man, she got a lot of health
if
back.
we
What the
don't
fuck?
hurry, the timer goes down to 0, and Cohen will eventually explode.
Jesus,
And we're
damn.
dead. Remember, we were only mid-game here, and Xanthi is one of the game's most punishing enemies. Defeating her right here and right now is very much possible, but it would be hellishly difficult. A fun challenge for hardcore players.
Damn, y'all. Well, hey, I ain't bitch made, so
The game and explore the
I had to walk her
without
down.
drawing her attention. Or
What the fuck?
try
that was
to
a whole
get to her
video?
while she's not surrounded by
That went by
bodyguards.
fast. I thought I was only halfway through that
Xanthi,
bitch.
like
Was I
all
talking
the
that much,
vampire
guys?
allies, has her own questline. Explore it, and you can learn more about her past, motivations.
Damn, that's
and
crazy.
maybe even try to reason with her. What you do is entirely up to you. Remember, our design principle
That
is
is
the
actually
narrative
crazy. I
segments.
thought
There's
that
no difference between
I was only halfway through that
quests and
video.
side quests. There's just different stories that you weave together into your own unique adventure. But that's coming in 2026. For now, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this
That's a cool
gameplay
sort
video
of,
presentation.
That's a cool sort of design thing. You have the vampire side on the other side and all that. Yeah, guys, that's cool. I don't know if I'm like 10 out of 10 hype for it, but I am looking forward to seeing more from this game. I could see definitely like the Witcher sort of like influence on this game. It's still pretty grounded, but I would say less so. Like, there's a lot more like verticality to it as far as like just some of the exploration, at least from what I remember from playing the Witcher 3. He seems a little bit more mobile. But yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. I don't think I got to see like enough of the fighting to be like, oh man, like this is like once we got to the nighttime and saw some of that fighting, like that was pretty cool. Like I enjoyed seeing his vampire powers. And that's one thing I might be a little bit worried about, which is that like, will one set of the powers be like way cooler than the other set? Like the mixed set, you know, you got the human, vampire, and the in-between powers. Because right now, vampire powers seem like they're, you know, A+. Like they look like they're gonna be way cooler than some of the other ones. I mean, he did like burn that guy's blood during the daytime, but just like even like the animations of the fighting with the claws was sick. Like just the parries and how smooth he was with attacking, that was really cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing more. I'm gonna give this y'all like a solid like 8. Like I enjoyed what I saw. I don't think I saw anything that was like too crazy. I think this game could leave a more a stronger visual impression on me. I think a lot of the color, not color per se, but I don't know. A lot of it feels like a little flat, and I get it. Like this is like a dark fantasy sort of world, but I feel like even like then like you can play with like shadows and stuff like that to make it like a bit more dynamic. I think in a lot of shots, like he looks just like this, like a brick of black. I don't know what I was trying to say actually, but you know, it's like he's just like a silhouette practically. In a lot of these, like, you know, you see a little bit of the red, and then maybe like his, you know, skin there, but in a lot of these shots, he's very. This is a little better. Let's see. I don't know. He doesn't stand out much in any scene to me, if that makes sense. And I think he could. Maybe if he has some sort of like armor on that has some more like reflections or something like that on it to just help, maybe that would help out more. But I think, yeah, there could be different outfits, right? But it's not just that. I think most things, right? I forget the word. I don't think it's like tone, but nothing stands out. Like a lot of the colors feel like they're kind of like the same amount of like saturation, you know, tone and all that sort of stuff. I'm forgetting all the other color words. I know I'm editing videos, but I'm forgetting right now. But dang it, one almost came to mind. But the point is that like it feels like you kind of got like the like it's flat but it's brighter, you can see, or it's flat and it's kind of darker. Like a lot of this like is pretty flat to me, and this probably perfectly sums it up. Like almost nothing feels like it kind of like stands out just like visually. The assets and things look good, but it's also like I think like that when I said like I feel like I can feel like I can't see. Like I think that's kind of what I meant. It's like my eyes are having a hard time. Like my brain knows what to focus on, the main character, right? But that's because I'm thinking about cognitive. Like I don't think like there's like guiding my eyes in this world or like points of interest or you know even just the character standing out. You know. So I think that's something they could work. Hey, this is pre-beta even, right? So this isn't me saying like, oh man, this game is terrible. Not at all. But even here where it's like I can see, you know, some of the lighting and color, it still feels kind of flat to me. I think that's why the stained glass windows, my bias aside, still like he doesn't stand out any more than this guy. The main difference is that this guy is blurred and she's less blurred. Like the framing is helps, but I think like, you know, if there was an actual like light source hitting him that maybe was a bit stronger or something, right? I think that would go a long ways, because it feels pretty much equal the way that's hitting him and hitting this guy and hitting this, you know, chick for the most part, right? So I think that's like one thing that like I don't know landed not as strongly for me. But ultimately, I still am really looking for, like, it's pre-beta, in-game footage, actual gameplay. Like, they still got plenty. It doesn't come out to 2026. So that's not like a judgment like, oh, this game's going to be terrible. Not at all. It looks cool. I want to see more. Ultimately, you know, there's still a lot of time, right? We're only halfway through the 2025. So I'm looking forward to it. This shot, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. You got more, those stained glass windows, y'all. Like we got more, you know, dynamic stuff here. Imagine like an important NPC sitting here with the light hitting them, you know, watching him like the priest guy or something. That would be pretty cool. I think they need to work on this. I don't know. This character isn't hitting completely for me. He looks like he would be like in a Sucker Punch game, or what's the game called? Like with the is it Naughty Dog? Wait, who made Infamous? Who made the Infamous game? Was that Sucker Punch? I think so. I don't know, just like the hairstyle. It feels like, I don't know. It feels, it's not terrible on this guy, but I think it's like, I don't know. Again, it's like, I guess there's more change in, you kind of have at least this darker foreground and kind of like a middle ground, and then you got some, you know, things that stand out, but I think I would not enjoy just visually this game where it's like almost nothing visually stands out until like at night, and there's like this like one window or these couple windows on this one building or this guy right there, because ultimately this probably doesn't matter that much. It might be like a time indicator for like how many days you have left if they start to like overlap or something. But you know, obviously that, not obviously, but for the most part that wouldn't matter anyways because you still have this to, you know, tell you. But so like if this is like as contrasted as it gets, I guess that's the word I'm looking for, contrast. You know, I would, that would be a little, I don't want to say disappointing. I sound like a father, but you know. But either way, the game still looks great. I think they could just kind of push some of it, especially just to emphasize, you know, the differences between the light and the dark, the day and the night, the human and the vampire side of things. Either way, still really cool. Gotta give this whole presentation 8 out of 10. I think it spiked for me towards the end. Those vampire powers were cool. The combat there was really sick. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're looking forward to Blood of the Dawnwalker or the new Witcher game more, let me know if anything I said about this game is accurate. If it is people who worked on The Witcher are making this game. I'm like 95% certain I heard that or saw it somewhere, right? But let me know in the comments below, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.